Hey guys, right now I figure I should talk about things a little less gravity than philosophy and that sort of deal. So I guess I should put out there that first off, I watched the pilot episodes of MLP today, the pilot episodes of season 1, I should say, and I forgot how good they were. I, or rather, I noticed more because there was a lot of things that I missed right away. So that was pretty neat. A lot of the animation and especially Rainbow grabbing or being grabbed by the tail by Applejack. That was happened a lot, and I forgot that it happened a lot. The silly little things that you don't notice until you actually see it. So that's ponies. I know my other video, because I only have one, that one was of a more grave topic, I should say. So I figured I'd sprinkle in a little ponies there just to verify that yes, Brony in my name is correct. I, I felt like I should talk about something that's more just fun to talk about. You guys might enjoy this. It's called lucid dreaming. If you haven't heard of it already, it's basically where you take control of your dreams while you're asleep. You're conscious, you're basically living in your dreams. And I did a whole speech on this for a school English project, and people really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I love talking about it. I'm just currently learning how to do it. I can't do it just on command. I wish I could, but I can't. So when you think about it, if you can control your dreams, you're basically gaining about a third of your life back from sleep, because that's statistically how long we sleep over our lifespan. A third. That's a lot of time. So if you're conscious during that time, that's pretty cool. But also, in dreams, reality's laws don't apply. If you want to call it reality, I mean, reality's an illusion and whatnot, but I'll get into that in a later video. For now, let's just call it reality. None of that matters in dreams. You can sit on the top of a mountain sipping a cup of tea while you watch ponies fly around you and it's raining teddy bears. Or on the same note, you could say no to the tea, kick the mountain away from you, and teleport to the sun and be like, yeah, I can do this because I feel like it. I mean, just crazy stuff like that. It'd be therapeutic, to say the least, just being omniscient in a perception, your own perception, where you're conscious. Some people get really good at it, and they can control how long they stay in. They can keep track of time in the real world, or if you want to call this a real world. I can get into that later too, in a later video. That's not worth it now. So when you get good enough, if you're having a bad dream or a nightmare or whatever, they can just say, no, this is my dream, stop. And it all turns into rainbows and happiness and blah. Or some action sci-fi adventure. It all depends on your preference. And they control it all. Another cool thing about lucid dreaming is while you're lucid, and to specify, lucid means clarity, so your dream became clear. But when you're lucid in a dream, you can ask questions about yourself, and your subconscious might answer the questions. That's pretty neat. I haven't done that in a dream yet, but it supposedly you can say, what is my dream job? And then somehow you're gonna learn that information, and that can change over time, but for right now, what is my dream job? And it'll spell it out in the sky with the clouds, or on the side of a building with graffiti. or it'll be beamed into your brain by some telepathic force. Dreams, the possibilities are endless. I guess only limited by your own ability to think. So it's very, very neat stuff. I guess I can talk about one of my experiences. It was pretty neat. This happened about 2-3 months ago. I was tired during the day, so I decided to take a nap. And in that nap, I had been outside already and stuff, so my body remembered what the temperature was. So I literally dreamt about the day, how it was, just almost like continuing the day even though I was asleep, which seems kind of like a boring dream, but whatever works. But I noticed when I stepped outside and I looked at my mother's garden, there was about 6 or 7 statues of Fluttershy, and I was like, what? What is this? And I literally realized that I was dreaming, and I didn't wake up. Because normally that happens, I wake up. I was like, oh, I'm in a dream. This is insane. So I ran over to our driveway, and I live out in the country. I don't live in a town. I live out away from society. I'm very lucky. So our driveway is fairly big. Say about like half a football field. Think about that distance, because our entire property is like 10 acres. So I ran over the driveway. It's downhill, and I slid down it on my stomach, and it's like impossible to do on gravel, but I did it. And all the way down, I did it fast, and I just got up and I did it again because it was fun. I wasn't very creative in that dream, but I eventually woke up, and I looked at the time, and I saw that only 15 minutes had passed from when I laid down to sleep. And I was like, oh, that was really cool. I wonder if I can do it again. So I tried again. I laid back down, and I was like trying. But then I got back up. I was like, it's just not gonna happen. It's too bad. I went downstairs. I'm kind of weirded out because the past dream was so realistic, and I looked out the window. I didn't actually go outside, but I looked out the window to check for the statues, make sure they weren't still there and I wasn't still dreaming. And it was all good, all fine. Everything was normal, and I was like, alright. Wait. Might as well do one final reality check. And my reality check is where you blink your eyes rapidly. I guess it's one of the few things you can do to just kind of jolt yourself out of a dream if you feel like it. I did it. And I sat up in bed. I had had a false awakening, that's what they call it. I had dreamt that I woke up. That hadn't happened to me before. That was odd. Odd to say the least. So, a lucid dream followed by a false awakening. Intense combo. This is all really, really neat stuff. I suggest looking into it further, and you can train yourself to do this just simply by keeping a dream journal, and there are a few tricks you can do, like messing with your sleep hours. Get up an hour earlier than you normally do, and then try to go back to sleep an hour after you woke up, because you're likely to have disturbed REM sleep, so you're going to try and get it back, and you're going to dream, and you might be conscious enough to wake up in your dream. That's some of the basics. There's exercises you can do to stimulate and or strengthen the gland in your head that messes with the chemicals that help you sleep and dream. And um, see, I mean, it's controversial, but controversial pronunciation fail. But basically, it's called the pineal gland, and they've dissected it, and it has a lot of properties of an eye, and that's pretty crazy. Because think about it, it's almost like your mind's eye. Because take a second right now, close your eyes, and think of a kitten. Think about it real hard. Think about how cute it is and what it looks like, its eyes, all that stuff. You saw a kitten, right? Well, to my understanding, that's your pineal gland at work, because it functions a lot like an eye does, but without actually seeing anything in the outside world, in this mumbo jumbo of information. It does it by itself based on what you feed it, memories and whatnot. You can strengthen that and train it to be very, very strong. I was doing it a while back while I was still in school, because summer break and all that good stuff. But I was walking down the hall and I imagined my room, because I was trying to figure out what I'd done with a certain object. I have no idea what it was now, but I did, and my mind's eye got strong enough where I was like literally in my room for a good 5 seconds as I walked down the hall. It was almost like I was on autopilot, and I was literally in my room. That had never happened to me before, and I was kind of taken aback. And I was, whoa. And then I got to class and I thought about it more, because don't want to be tardy, you know, that's a terrible, terrible thing to do. But you can strengthen and train that part of your brain. There's a lot of things you can do with your brain if you set your mind to it. And that was almost a paradox. Almost. Not quite. I will link a few videos that explain lucid dreaming and the pineal gland and exercises you can do with it. I'll put those in the description. They're worth checking out, and they're a lot more focused than this video was. This is just kind of like an overview of me and my understanding of lucid dreaming, as well as my efforts. Because I like to ramble in these videos. It's fun to ramble. You should try it sometime if you haven't. That's all for now, I should say. So, Mr. Philosophical Brony out.